Recording in progress. So I do record these little talks and I put them on the YouTube live channel in case you ever, or the YouTube station, in case you ever want to review any of this stuff or just laugh and say, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, and show it to your friends and giggle at what this guy says. But the purpose of the talks is not to convince, it's to open up ideas and possibilities. Happy Monday, everybody. It's really good to see such a nice turnout. Welcome if you're on YouTube Live or Facebook. Today's topic, and by the way, these talks, it goes into the section on YouTube called 6 Minutes to Enlightenment. So let's see if I can keep it to under 6 minutes. Enlightenment shouldn't take that long. So today's topic is rabbit holes, and we all know where the phrase rabbit holes comes from Alice in Wonderland. And Alice had this nasty habit of going down a variety of rabbit holes. And the interesting thing about rabbit holes is that the deeper you go into them, the deeper they go. You can't dig them deep enough. You never get to the bottom. So a good rabbit hole would be the most wonderful thing, wouldn't it? The more you went into it, the more wonder and glory and brilliance and love and joy it would expose. But a nasty rabbit hole only gets worse and worse and worse, and you can't get to the bottom of it. The more you dig, the more there is. So we might think about one rabbit hole. It's like every dungeon has a trap door. There's deeper that you can go. Now, some rabbit holes go up, and every ceiling has a skylight. You can expand into further and further glories and mysteries and wonders. And so meditation really is the art and the science of moving upward and into an expansive realm that has no end to its glory. But here's the principle behind all of this. Whichever way you look will magnify. If we look into the past and the things that happened poorly for us, or the negativity, or in the present, or even if we extrapolate forward into an imaginary future and we bring along with our imaginations negativity or things of a lower nature, they will expand in size. So one of my favorite stories is Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel is shoved into a lion's den, which was meant to be his demise, and the people who threw him in were rather gleeful, thinking that Daniel was getting ready to be Purina lion chow. But Daniel was an experienced meditator in prayer, and he knew something bad was headed his way. He had an intuition. So when it did come, he knew exactly what to do. He knew not to look at the lions. There was a little skylight in his dungeon, and he kept gazing upward at the light. And the lions were like, who is this dude? Everyone else that gets thrown in here, they look at us, and then we smell his fear, and then we eat them. You kind of get the principle. I don't think I need to elaborate it very much more. If we look into our rabbit holes of depression and trauma and anything that's negative, they will expand. And if we look upward and we meditate, then the glory and the goodness expands, and what we don't want to see simply fades from view. Now, this is exactly what we're not taught to do in the world. We're taught to look at the lions and to fight them and to wrestle them. But then, of course, they gain power over us and they kill us, so to speak. Which way do we want to look? It's a big question. So this week, practice being Daniel or Daniela in the lion's den, and just notice if you're staring at the lions and that they're gaining more power on you and they're chewing you up and consuming you. And if you notice you're doing that, simply turn in the other direction and see if you can find the skylight. It's always up there, but you have to look for it. If you don't look for it, it won't appear. If you do, it will magnify. So thoughts for the week. Much love to all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next session.